Hello and welcome to the Flooring Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 19th of April 2024. Busy week this week. To be honest with you, I've been pushing on a lot with the Apache, which you'll see quite a lot of in a moment. And then also yesterday and into today, I've been working back onto the actual Y-Wing and we've been doing all the plumbing, of which there's absolute tons of it on this particular kit. But again, lots of fun with this one. Also, I've had a couple of good tool reviews up for you. I say good. One of them's terrible. Well, not terrible. I don't think it's very good. The other one is mega. It's brilliant. So plenty to see. Anyway, it all started on Monday. We have part 3 of the Apache. So obviously this is the main 35th scale H64D, all right, that I'm currently working on. Matt is just starting now as we speak his one, and he's obviously doing the TACM version, which, to be honest, there's not a lot between the two. So it'd be interesting to see how his goes together as well. Anyway, getting on with this particular one. So we're going through the motions of obviously getting the two halves together, seam checking, taking care of the usual things that comes with that. Then we was putting together the little wings, the little stub wings on there, and obviously the side cheeks, things like that for the electronics bays, and getting those all installed. And I have to say, it's beautiful. It just goes together so very, very well, this kit. It's literally a click fit, almost no glue required. It's that good right the way through. So again, I'm very, very happy of how this is going in there. And as you can see, the detail on the kit and the way it goes in there, as I say, you've got that satisfying click sometimes as it all just fits in there and becomes seamless, which is really nice. We did put the clamps on though, just to hold the cheeks on down in there and board, and a little bit of clamp work onto the rear just to get that to go in there. All right, and with that done, we could turn our attention to the engine, which is a beautifully detailed engines on these ones. So we get the main engines all together. Originally, I wasn't going to do too much with them. I wasn't really going to go into town. In fact, I was going to have them closed up. But actually, they are so nice, so detailed, that it would be a crying shame to hide them away. And also, as you'll see in a minute, we came up with some good bits with that particular one. So again, getting those down in there just like that on this particular build. So anyway, guys, for the members, you can go off and you can watch that now. It's around about 30 minutes long, that particular one. And that is your part 3 of the actual Apache build. All right, so that's a good one. Up with you on Tuesday, we had the Full and Match show. This is a free to watch show. Anyone can watch this one. And as you can see down in here, or we'll see shortly, I was showing off the Y-Wing, so obviously I finished doing the weathering on the Y-Wing and everything like that. And then obviously, as you can see down below, we've got the Apache down in there, which we're speaking about, as you can see. And then obviously Matt's got his Apache. He's currently just getting the first stages of it, getting the cockpit together and all the rest of it, as you can see just down on there like that. But anyway, it doesn't stop there, because also he's currently working on the Black Hawk as well, which is coming together very, very nicely. And he finished off the Henschel, which obviously members you would have seen on Thursday night a little bit more details of as well. So he's been very busy with that one. Plus the fact we're answering all your questions and talking about everything that's going on in the modelling world and the usual things that all go along with that, the latest kit releases, what's coming down the line, and all the other good stuff as well. So if you want to watch this show, you can do. It's around about, 40 minutes on that one. So if you want to go off, you can see that one now. It's free to watch. It's up on social media, or you can just pop along to the vlog area. So obviously just click up here and it'll take you to all the shows that are on this week. All right. Wednesday was me with the vlog. So we were talking obviously what we were getting on with, which as you can see is very much the Apache, talking about getting the engine work all done. As you can see, all the little details into this one right the way through, and as I said, those engines look absolutely glorious. I'll show you again with those in a moment, but again, they're looking very, very nice. And again, we're talking about the glass work and what a nice fit that is, getting that clicked into place, and all the other stuff that I'm working on currently at the moment. All right, so we're going through all the motions down in there, plus the fact we're talking about obviously some of the tool reviews that are coming up. And members, you would have seen, obviously you get the preview of all these ones as well. We actually had the display reciprocating sander, which I think should be a reciprocating saw, because I think it works better as a saw than it ever will do as a sander. But anyway, that's all down in there, but we'll talk about that one in a moment when we come up with it. All right. Then last night we had the members live show. Really good to get back to the normal format. So we were talking to the guys, seeing what they're all up with as well. So we've got Nathan, he's currently working on those gorgeous little 70-second 109s. We've got Matt, he was telling us about how he's working on the new Black Widow kit that he's working with. I was talking about, well, feeling like a plumber, doing all the scratch build plumbing work onto the giant Y-Wing that we're currently working on. And then we've got, I've missed John, so there we go. So we've got John's. Obviously, he's working on the big Havoc as we're making our way through that one. And where's Andy's? Where is Andy's? Where is Andy's? Andy's in here somewhere. Hold on, I've got to show Andy's, because Andy's still working on the Flycatcher. which is here somewhere. Where's his flycatcher? There it is. He's working on that one as well. Hopefully we'll be seeing the end of that one. I think he's going to be happy to see the end of that one. So you can see it all down in there like that one as well. Usual thing with the show was answering your questions, but what we're especially doing is having a good look round at your work at the particular group builds and SIGs that are currently coming along at the moment. So he's having a good perusal through all of those. And obviously we were talking about all the other bits that are going on as well and having a look at all of your great work with these ones. So as I say, there was some really nice work shown here, and again you can catch up with all the great work at the end of the show in the gallery as well. Don't forget, this is the member show. You do have to be a member to watch it. We do these every other Thursday night, so if you want to watch in with any of those ones, you can do as always. Anyway, that brings us up to part 4 of the actual Apache. As I said, I got so involved and such a fun build with the Apache. I just went for it this week and we really pushed through. So now we're working on the exhausts and the IR suppressors for the engines. So we were doing all of those, getting those together, put in there, see, looking very nice. And then we went through the motions of painting it all in there. So we went that interior yellowy colour down on the inside. So we got all of those painted. Then I use LP paints, which actually I do like. They're pretty much on a par with me with the Super Metallics range from Guns, the SM range. What is it, 201 to 205, is it, something like that? They really are nice. The silver works very well. It's got a nice sort of, you know, polished aluminium look to it, which is quite nice for doing engines and stuff like that. And then obviously you're using darker silvers and things like that to go through the motions of it to bring it all to life. And then because I was worried about overspray with the engines, I've actually gone round and done the all the camo work off of this one as well. So again, it's just one of those ones, just makes it a bit easier. Anyway, members, you can go off now and see this one. It's just over 30 minutes as well. So that is your part 4 of this one. So I will be having a little bit of a break from it at the moment, purely because, as I say, we're working on a lot with this stuff. And I say I'm getting ahead of myself quite a lot with this, so we will see how it goes. But anyway, here she is. And like we were saying, these engines are such a nice fit. They go on here beautifully, and then literally you can almost unhinge them. All right, and there is our engines down in there. And this is one of those kits where I am so enjoying the build. Sometimes, you know, you get bogged down into a kit and it just, yeah, I don't know. But this one, oh no, this is absolutely lovely. So anyway, we've done the engines. As you can see, when you do close them up, they are a beautiful fit. And it's not just one of those. Sometimes, you know, you get one engine fits better than the other. Oh no, these are absolutely mega. So both of these fit in here absolutely beautiful. So really enjoying it. It's coming along very nicely on this one. As I say, what I do is I'm going to do a little bit on the Y-wing to finish it off, and then going to be straight back next week with the Apache working on this one again. All right, so very nice. As you can see down below on the Y-wing, yes, so as you know, this is a 3D printed one, and yes, you can get 3D printed pipes works that come with it, but actually what I'm doing down in here, I'm using the cord thread type one. So this is like well, they call it, was it covered wire or coated wire, but actually it's just the beginning range of the plasticard range. Then you move into the normal tubes and things like that. All right, but it's good because you can put it in, you can bend it around to exactly what you like, and you can get all of this in. So at the moment I've just got in here temporarily, it's all still a loose fit with all of these ones, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paint all of these up in metal colors and things, and then we'll reattach them. So for the moment it's just to see how all of these piping work and everything goes down in here. It's looking really nice, and then hopefully we will be into a position, this is where they will fall off as I show you this, but we will be in a position where this one will be finished up shortly. So again, as you can see, they are a loose fit on here. None of these are glued in. All right, so again, hopefully next week this one will be finished off. Still going to put it onto a stand. So I do want to put it onto some type of stand. I'm probably going to bend it at an angle, so I might actually use acrylic and not what I did buy for it, which is this gorgeous solid brass rod. I'm actually thinking I might tilt it because I like this on a sort of angle. I think it will look quite cool. So instead of just being flat, and obviously trying to bend this because it is solid, it is literally solid, that I don't think I can bend that. So probably going to put it onto acrylic, onto a stand to finish this one off. But there's still lots of work to come on this. We've still got to do chipping, we've got to do sort of blaster effects, things like that. I am going to actually do all the clear parts and make those as well for the actual canopy as well. So it has got clear parts into it. Then obviously we've got to do the guns and the final bits before we finish this one off. But I'm hopeful by next week this one will be done. Get the plumbing done beginning of next week. Then we can get the chipping done onto it, and then this will be out of the way. Then we can focus back onto the Apache before we start our next big build, as always, on that one. All right, so back over onto the site. We did have a couple of reviews up this week, so click on the review section. You can see just down in here. So the first review up was the display reciprocating sander, which I do get. Well, I sort of get, but again, it's one of those ones where it's showing, you know, sort of, you think yes it would work really, really well, but I think theoretically it doesn't work as well as I was hoping for. What you actually get is foot pads for it, and then you get all sticky back stuff to stick down onto your pads right the way through. All right, so you've got all of those and you can mark them out. And I did a test, and you can watch the video, and we do a side-by-side comparison, and we do various scenarios for it, as you can see, all right, by using a normal sander and then using this thing. But the trouble is, I find because it's reciprocating, as in going in and out, all right, it's just going up and down basically by around about 3 mil, I think, is its travel. All right, but the trouble with it is that because it's just going up and down, it literally digs instead of sands. So I think it would be better maybe if it went side to side or random, you know, as if it's doing little mini circles rather than just going up and down, because I do have a habit of it puts a trench in. Don't get me wrong, it does work. So when we got Buster out and we gave him a go with it, it definitely works and does the job. It's just one of those ones where I think it needs to be a little bit more powerful and a little bit more sort of, you know, a wet heft to it and weight to it. And also I think with the design of the shape isn't brilliant, because obviously it's just going up and down. Trying to use this tool and get it into certain areas is very, very difficult, because by its nature being a sander, you want to keep it flat and not use its edges. Otherwise you really are going to be digging, and it just struggles when you try and do that as well, especially if you're trying to get into tight locations, as I say. But anyway, you can go off and see the review. It will be up on YouTube by the time you see this as well, so you can go off and see all about it on that particular one there. All right, one other tool which I really do like, and to say you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I'm a big fan of these tools, is the shanks, as I call them. So these are basically seam scrapers, and as you said, I've done reviews from other manufacturers and that. Display do one now, and at the time when I first reviewed this, it didn't come with the handle, it was just the actual part itself, and I said at the time it just wasn't living up to my expectations because it didn't have a nice handle. Now they do come with a handle as well, although it is a separate item. So actually what you've got is two parts here. You've actually got the actual shank itself, this little guy here, and it's a separate part to the handle, which in some ways is good. So if you do snap one of these off, or you know it goes blunt or whatever you've done to it, you don't have to buy the entire thing. You can actually just replace the shank part itself without having to replace the handle. So again, very, very nice touch. So there it is down in there. And instead you've got a really nice chisel on one end, which is great for taking out, you know, anything detail wise. So perhaps if you're replacing it with photo etch parts, things like that, you've got to remove all the surface detail. This will do it in a heartbeat. And you've got a very sharp, very nice angled edge here for doing seam scraping. So if you need to get into anywhere, you can, but you say there's your chisel end, and there's your pointy end, all right, and then you can go into it and attach the handle just like that. Say there is a little bit up there, and I show it being used in anger and how you use it and all the bits and pieces, and definitely a very much a worthwhile tool. And whilst the sander I thought was a little bit naff, actually I think that is very, very nice indeed. If you do want to go off and see all of the reviews that we've done over the years, God knows how many thousands are up there now, but we've got kit reviews, we've got tool reviews and everything else. And as I say, I need to tidy up some of these and get these into the separate areas, but if you do click in here, it'll probably take forever to load through because there's hundreds, but you've got all the reviews on here now. And again, once they do load through, there'll be loads coming in now of all the kit reviews we've reviewed. As you can see, it'll go on and on and on. The modern ones all come with high-res photos as well. So if you click in to the actual part, it'll take you off to a separate page now. And you've got high reg of all the instructions and anything else you could ever want and see. We've got all of these down in here, plus the fact we've got pictures of the decals, any aftermarket with it, and obviously all the parts as well. So if you want to have a look at any of those, you can do. These are all free to watch as well, clearly. So you just pop along to our review section just down in there like that. All right, last up, over on the PM store, various things coming in and going out at the moment. We've got new tool section, so we've got a main tool section now. So obviously we've got some sanding items down in there. We've got some of the tweezers. So we're trying to break these up just to make them a little bit easier to find down in here as well. So if you want to get any of these, you can. We're really hopeful that we'll see the new, the real colours come back in their new guise of the bigger bottles soon. All right, so if you want to get any of those, you can do. But usual thing, we've got all your tools, all your kits covered, and we've got our special offers area. And again, we've got some down in here, including the new speeder bike, which I have got here, and I will be reviewing it next week. All right, so I've got that in so we can have a look at that. But as I say, we've got some good deals on various things down below. So if you want to grab any of those, you can do as always just down on there. And that is about it for this week. So really pushing on. So I've got a couple of reviews for you next week as well. We've got a couple of tool items reviews for you coming up as well next week. So they'll be up for members probably around about Tuesday, Wednesday. Matt's got a review up for you as well on something nice as well. So he's got his coming up as well on Tuesday. And again, I'll be with you Wednesday, Thursday as we make our way through. And say hopefully next week, Y-Wing will definitely be completed. And I'm very hopeful that the actual Apache will be somewhat together heading into the paint bay. So then the week after we can get on with a brand new kit with you as well. And that is about it. So as always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.